Chapter 20 of My Yellow Brick Road to My Happily Ever After. Yes, go catch up. Don't just jump in on this chapter. Chapter 20. Every stone of hard work is worth the blessing. Everything happens for a reason. Finally, the war in Afghanistan was winding down. President Obama said he would pull all of the military out of Afghanistan by 2014. The military contract that Kendall was working under was going to end. He went to Afghanistan in 2013 on his every other year rotation as planned, but it would be the last time. Thank God. I mean, seriously. He was in the military for 22 years, straight out of high school, served his country proudly, retired as a gunnery sergeant, one of the best, accommodations and everything. Just everybody really appreciated his service. And then he gets a contract working on base, supporting the military through a military contract, which required an every other year rotation to a war zone. So he was still deploying people, but even longer. At least as a Marine, it was usually 3 months over and then 18 months and 3 months over. This was every 12 months for 12 months. He was gone a year, missing a lot of family time. So we were so glad when they pulled our people out of a country that really didn't want us to be there to help. Some people did. A lot of their people that are here from Afghanistan or Iraq or Iran want us there to help. But a lot of people that are over there do not want us there. So it's difficult. It's really difficult. You want to help. You always want to help any country that's going through that kind of mess. But our family, our guys are being sent over there, and it's difficult. You pray and pray and pray and hope they return and hope their friends and everybody else, even those that you don't know, return. So it felt good for us as a family that he was coming home. Kendall kept his job in 2008 by agreeing to deploy every other year. And after 4 trips to war zones in Iraq and Afghanistan, it was finally over. We were blessed that he earned a great salary. We planned a family trip to the Bahamas for 2014 and started a vacation fund. We were blessed to have Kendall return safe and sound in December of 2013. We kept it a secret and surprised our friends and family at my first Christmas jingle mingle. That was fun. I had a great Christmas party. I invited friends, family, and clients to share in the Christmas spirit with Christmas candies, desserts, and beverages. It was joyous and a fun celebration. Oh my goodness, my dining room table is huge. It could seat 8, and it was covered in stacks and little canisters and jars and everything of cookies and candies and candies and candies and cookies and candies and candies. And we served coffee and hot cocoa and different flavors and apple cider and everything, and everyone had a ball. You should try it. It's really fun. And it was just a mingle. Nothing seated. Everybody just go in. Kids get some stuff and Christmas music playing. And I had a couple of raffles. It was really great. Very fun. Everyone was surprised to see Kendall. Kendall and I knew we would have a fun Christmas. Then we would have to deal with his unemployment in February. Kendall had worked since the age of 17. He joined the Marines when he was 18. He served his country faithfully and proudly until he retired in 2015. So let me clarify. At the age of 17, even though he was working, he did an early enlistment. So since he was 17, pretty cool. With the diligent and organized help of a job recruiting service that helps veterans find employment, let me give a shout out to Lucas Group. Google it, the Lucas Group. If you have former military training and been in the military at all, any branch, the Lucas Group will be able to help you find a job. You may have to relocate, but guess what? It's a job. It's money. Take your family. Everyone learns change. You want your kids to learn change. Yeah, it's great if you live in the same house for 20 years, but if money is required and a better job is required, move. That's just advice for me. With the diligent and organized help of a job recruiting service that helps veterans find employment, Kendall found a civilian job at a plastic manufacturing company within 40 days of his retirement. It wasn't what he wanted, but he did not complain. 30 days after he started his new job, he was offered the military contract position, which offered a great salary, amazing benefits, and the location was on the flight line at Camp Pendleton, where he had just retired less than 3 months before. What a blessing. So, when his contract ended on February 4th of 2014, I suggested that Kendall take a break. Other than the disability, he had not had a period of time longer than 3 weeks off when he had not worked. My real estate brokerage is doing well, and your severance will help us manage. Enjoy the time off, relax and watch some television. Sleep in for a change, I said over and over again. Finally, Kendall conceded and began to enjoy a semi-retirement. He could watch his favorites, Judge Mathis and Judge Judy. Gotta give a shout out to y'all, those are his favorite shows to this day. He could watch them during their actual time slots instead of via DVR recordings. He actually began to enjoy the downtime. The reason? God's reason. For Kendall's downtime and availability to us, his family, was evident after I was diagnosed again with breast cancer. What? I have no breasts. All of the breast tissue was supposed to have been taken in 2009. Well, it seems that my mammogram revealed several small malignant cells in a minuscule amount of tissue located at about 6 o'clock on my right breast. It could only be seen in a microscope, not a lump to be discovered. I followed the steps as directed as usual. First, I got an MRI for confirmation, then a stereotactic biopsy to get a sample of the cells. The doctor who did the biopsy was so awesome that she got all of the malignant cells within her sample. She deserved the edible arrangements, dipped strawberries, and Survivor pink roses I sent her. Yes, check this out, folks. So, I felt a lump on my left side. What is that? I go to the emergency room at the suggestion of my doctor because it was on the weekend. He checked it. He was like, don't know what that is. It wasn't symmetrical. You know, usually if it's your glands or something, you check both sides. If it's both sides, then you're pretty good. So I told him, I said, I probably need an MRI because I have mammography. I have implants, so I can't do a mammography to see anything. So what they decided was order the MRI. Okay, I go get the MRI. Nothing on the left, something on the right. MRIs are so much better, especially if you have breast implants, right? Because the MRI looks at you this way. A mammography looks this way and this way. But you need something that's looking this way into your chest wall. And I learned that with the very first doctor I saw about the cancer, you know, the calcifications. So, have the MRI, that's when they sent me to have the stereotactic biopsy, which is a needle that's shaped like a straw, like a little bitty straw, so it's got a core through it. And then under, the doctor's watching the mammography screen with your breast, or ultrasound screen, whatever she's watching. And she's actually going in with the needle at the same time so she can see where it is she wants to go and get it. So she was just supposed to get a sample of that tissue, see if it's malignant, right? The girl was the bomb. The cancer they saw cells were so microscopic that she got them out within that core because the needle was small, the sample was small, and she's so skilled she got it all just for the sample for them to, so it was already cancer free at the biopsy. She's the bomb. Can't remember her name, I just know she's at CDI in La Jolla, California Diagnostic Institute in La Jolla, or Diagnostic Imaging. Awesome. So I immediately rode down the street, got her an edible arrangement with some, you know, chocolate covered strawberries for her and her team because they were the bomb as well. And I ordered her some pink flowers. I was very happy with her. Very. My surgeon still had to do another mastectomy to remove the balance of tissue at the site. He skillfully got all of the tissue he could get, as well as checking my lymph nodes this time. Totally different surgeon this time. Very skilled. Dr. Lee was awesome. So he got any excess tissue. You know, they can only get so much breast tissue, right? Because it's attached to your skin. It's like when you take the fat off of chicken skin. You can't pull it all because then the skin starts thinning out, right? So you can only get so much. But he got all that he could and checked my sentinel node and my lymph nodes under my arm, like 12 or 14 of them, whatever. No cancer in the lymph nodes. That means it has not metastasized from your breast tissue up through your bloodstream, through your nodes, and out to the rest of your body. Praise God. So, but that still only means I'm 99% clear. You know, you never know what could return. Crazy, I tell you. My Aunt Trudy, yes, my pregnant Aunt Trudy from the early days of my journey, who is now happily married and has a wonderful family. Shout out to Aunt Trudy, Joseph, Samantha, Erica, and their children. And my friend LaTanja, who also dealt with breast cancer. They told me to make sure the doctors checked my lymph nodes this time, and I made sure of it. And the sentinel node and 12 lymph nodes were tested for malignancy. Okay, answer the question. 12. None. No malignancy. Thank God. The cancer had not metastasized to the nodes, which means that we were 99.9% sure that cancer had not moved to the other parts of my body. I'll take that 99.9% blessing and live with it. Literally. They told me I was HER2 positive. Of course, I had no clue what that meant, so I searched it out on Google. Research, people. In this age of internet, are you kidding me? If you're diagnosed with something, if your family's diagnosed with something, if you're some taxpayer or some representative or some other professional is telling you something that you don't agree with or you're not sure about, especially your health, Google it, read about it, learn about it, read the blogs because other people have also looked it up or been through it already. Help yourself because your doctors are great, but they may not be going to continuing education. They may not be hitting the seminars to see what the latest and newest stuff is, but you need to know to increase your chance for survival. I read this on the breastcancer.org website under HER2 status. The HER2 gene makes HER2 proteins. HER2 proteins are receptors on breast cells. Normally, HER2 receptors help control how a healthy breast cell grows, divides, and repairs itself. But in about 25% of breast cancers, 25%, that's a lot, the HER2 gene doesn't work correctly and makes too many copies of itself, known as HER2 gene amplification. All these extra HER2 genes tell breast cells to make too many HER2 receptors, the HER2 protein overexpression. This makes breast cells grow and divide in an uncontrolled way. That's at breastcancer.org, 2012. In my brain, it translated like this. Oh, great. I am such a damn overachiever. It's funny because I really am an overachiever, okay? The first in the family to do all this, that, or the other. Honestly, do I really want to be the first for that? First to graduate college. First to do this. First with breast cancer. Nobody else in the family had breast cancer. I mean, seriously. I don't want to do that. But I am. So, the HER2 is crazy. You just, yeah, look it up. It's crazy to be a part of that. It's not a benefit. But I laugh about it because, hell, what am I going to do? Can't change my genes. That's G-E-N-E-S, genes. I can change my J-E-A-N-S, but I can't change my G-E-N-E-S. After 2 hours of reading blogs and articles, I found out that tumors with high levels of HER2 protein were associated with recurrence of cancer and death. Wow, that meant I would need to do whatever the doctor said was the best treatment. I was told I would have to do chemotherapy this time and a chemo antibody called Herceptin to fight the HER2 gene. A gene killer. Wow, sounds very sci-fi. Chemotherapy was scheduled to start in April of 2014. Kendall being off work was such a help. He was able to drop off and pick up Kenda as well as run the errands that I couldn't run during my 12 weeks of chemotherapy. Kendall was raised by his hard-working grandfather, and his disciplined upbringing would not let him lie around for long anyway. His job search began at the end of March. "Man, searching for a job takes 8 or more hours a day," Kendall said as I walked into our home office. The descriptions ask for specific skills and explain the duties the position requires, but the salary is low. Now I see why some of my friends say they have been looking for work for several months, he said with a look of frustration. "Yes, sir. Networking is the #1 way to get a job. If you have not already told all of your friends that you are looking for a job, I suggest you do that now. Email them. Sign up for LinkedIn so that you can start getting alerts from other retired and former Marines and friends. Then update your USA Jobs profile as well," I said with a smile while he looked up at me. "I know it is a lot, baby, but the more bait you throw out there, the more likely something is going to grab your line." I squeezed his shoulder and walked out. Jesus, please help him find a job soon. As always, the blessings continued to envelop us as I went back to work. Kendall searched regularly for work, and Kenda excelled in school. Kenda was in her 2nd year of Recreation Center Volleyball League, so we enjoyed family time going to her games and practices as well. With her height, 5'8" in the 5th grade, she was wise to be in volleyball or basketball, and volleyball was her sport of choice. She really enjoyed it. I told her I love volleyball too when I played it on my middle school and high school teams. If she worked hard and continued to play, she could get an athletic scholarship to college through volleyball. She was excited to hear the news. While I was battling cancer, I was living my life. I was helping my mom, who was a foster parent, with a refinance so she could do some upgrades to her home. I helped my sister Sabbath find a cute little house to rent in Hemet for her and her boys. She and I talked about a plan for her to become a homeowner by the end of 2014 if she followed my recommendations. She excitedly said, "I'm on it." My nephews Christian and Elijah, we call them Chris and EJ, were growing tall and doing well in school. Chris was blossoming out of his shell with more friends and joining clubs at school and even running on the cross-country team, while the social butterfly EJ was continuing to improve his football skills while realizing that academics must be just as awesome as his passing ability if he wanted a football scholarship. We enjoyed going to watch EJ play football. He was a natural. Blessings were falling on all of us. Kendall and I planned the trip to Atlantis in Nassau, Bahamas for the last week in June. Kenda's older sister, Chanel, lived close by in Long Beach, so she would join us. The plan was for me to stop chemo for a few weeks to enjoy the trip. It surprised us when Kendall was offered a job from the Ross distribution after speaking to a rep at an EDD job fair. "What do I tell them about my start date since we're going on our trip?" Kendall asked me. Potential employers understand that you may have previously planned vacations. You tell them the dates of vacation, and they can decide if they want you to start before the vacation, then come back afterwards, or if they want you to start after we get back. I'm sure it will be the latter. Good luck, I said as I kissed him goodbye. He went to the job interview with confidence. Finally, an employer saw the excellent work ethic in him because he got the job. They were fine with him starting after we returned from the Bahamas. The chemotherapy had to start before our vacation. The Taxol and Herceptin were administered by infusion into my body through a port that my doctor surgically implanted over my right breast. That's wrong. I have to change that, people, because it's here. My port was here over my left breast. Yeah. It was placed under my skin and looked like a bottle top. It allowed me to get the infusions of the strong chemo drugs without wrecking my veins. They accessed it with a needle. My hair began to fall out after my 3rd weekly treatment. I had bald patches on my head, and my eyelashes and eyebrows were thinning as well. I thought I would be strong, but the first time a clump of hair came out in my comb, I lost it. I did. I lost it. Kendall was in the living room watching a Disney movie. Kendall was at his friend Steve's playing cards or dominoes. I shut the door to our master bathroom and started bawling like a baby. Lord, I know I am blessed. I really know I am blessed. I closed my eyes and sobbed. But it's still scary. Very scary. Help me, Lord. Give me strength. Lead me through this, please, please. As I truly pleaded for strength, I wiped the snot and slobber off my face. Then I opened my eyes and looked in the mirror. The reflection of something shiny made me smile. Scissors! Thank you, Lord, I said with a chuckle. Oh boy, did the Lord work fast. My look at the, why look at the depressing patchy head of hair? Get rid of it. I took the scissors and began snipping it all off. Once I got the hair down as low as the scissors could take it, I got Kendall's hair clippers and cut my hair down as far as I could. Then I took a big disposable razor and gave my head the smooth as a baby's butt shave. Wow. Not bad. I felt bald and beautiful instead of sad, depressed, broken as I had been 30 minutes before. It was amazing how quickly I abandoned the doom and embraced the journey. Stones of resilience, love, praise gave me strength as I fought off depression. And you have to do that. It is so important that you don't wallow and get enveloped in sorrow and sadness. Even after you deal with grief and sadness, you shake it off and try to get back on your journey. It's really important because it's easy to get bogged down in sadness and fear and depression. You have to shake it off, and friends and family will try. You all come on out, let's go do this, watch TV or whatever. Don't say no, forget it. No, say okay, just keep saying yes, okay, and you'll pull yourself out of it. They'll help you. I had to stop my chemo treatments before we went to Atlantis so that I could enjoy the vacation. It was a much needed break for all of us, and physically it would give my body a chance to replenish my white cells so that I could stay healthy. When your white cell count is too low, they won't give you chemo. And I already had one of those days where I went for chemo, but they said I had to leave because my white cell count was too low. So you have to stay healthy through the battle for your life. You do. I purchased a wig for the trip. We had a marvelous experience with the girls. Sun and rain in the Bahamas, yeah. Sun and rain, beaches and sand, great food and flies. Yes, I said flies, lots of flies. Funny, but we had a ball, flies and all. It was so funny, I have to tell you this. The day we got there, we were so excited. We put our bags in our room and went out to get something to eat. We were starving. So we were at Atlantis, and they have a food, like a snack place where you can get quick stuff, hamburgers and fries and chicken tenders and stuff. So we went out there, and you could still see the water, and we ordered, and we sat down. And there was a few flies, so we shoot them off. So Kendall heard our number called, and he went to get the food. So when he walked back with the food and set the plates down, I mean flies. They came from everywhere and swarmed all over us. So you're just like trying to eat flies just everywhere. And Kendall was like, man, this is ridiculous. He was getting frustrated. I was laughing. I was like, this is crazy. But I was still eating. We were starving. So we were pretty much done. And there was all these tables, with umbrellas. And so these other people went and sat down. And then they were doing the same thing. And we were already done. So all the flies left. And so right before we got ready to get up, this other lady sat by herself, and they were over there, and she was mad. She was like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. What you gonna do, people? It's still Bahamas, it's still heaven and paradise. So you just shoot those flies when you eat, or eat inside. It was hilarious. We had a ball, flies and all. We returned on June the 26th, and Kendall started work on June the 30th. He's always back to the grind. It was a night shift, which took Kendall away from us again, but we did see him on the weekends, and it was a blessing that he was not in a war zone any longer. Thank God. My sister Sabbath took me to my chemo visits every Friday, and I enjoyed sharing those few hours every Friday with her. She knew I would not ask, so she just told me she would be there. My little sister was now helping to take care of me. What a blessing it was for me to enjoy. Sometimes we would talk, sometimes we would laugh, but most of the time she just sat by me for moral support. It touched my heart. On July the 10th, 2014, my grandmother, Ethel Irene West, Mama Ethel, passed away. She was 90 years old. It was sad for all of us, but not painful for her. She died in her sleep. I knew I would miss her terribly, but I was blessed to have spent so much time with her in the last 10 years. I have a lot of vivid memories. We cooked together when I was little. She actually trusted me at the stove when I was 7 years old. I have memories of me riding with her to her Lavoie lingerie shows in her car, and much later in life, her riding with me in my car to the casino, one of her favorite things to do. Don't forget, she helped me get my first real job at Leo's Pharmacy. We both believe in the Lord and truly believe that when this temporary body perishes, then our beautiful souls go to be with the Lord in heaven, and we will see each other again. Losing a loved one in this life is much easier when you know you will see them in the next life. But the selfish me is sad she is gone. Mama Ethel was born in 1924, and she was the oldest of 10 children. They were not wealthy, and being black in 1924 was not easy. She grew up strong and tough, then raised 6 children of her own while helping her children raise her 18 grandchildren, 37 great-grandchildren, and 6 great-great-grandchildren. That was at the time that she passed. There's been more born since then. She raised us to be strong, so when I arranged her memorial, I did it with strength to honor the woman who helped me and helped make me the woman that I am. I think of her in my moments of weakness, then God puts a smile in my heart, a funny memory in my thoughts, and I keep on moving. That little excerpt of her is nothing. She is amazing and was amazing. She played on the softball team, and because my mom was born so close, like when she was 18, they were so close in age, while my grandmother still played on the softball team, my mom started playing on the softball team. Just, you know, she was always there. At Christmas, she would send all of us boxes if we didn't live where we could come see her. She sent all of her children, her 6 children, and their children, if they had children, a box with Christmas goodies in it. For years she did that. She always worked. She had her job at Leo's. She sold Lavoie lingerie, which was a big line. She sold aloe vera juice and products from Forever Living products. I mean, she just did it all. And she gave us the work ethic that we have. Several of us are just that way. We work through it. We work through it all and work for family and love family and devoted. So amazing. She's one of the creators of our family reunion that is now in its, I believe, 37 years. When I was 15, they started. So it's amazing. Amazing. My friends, family, and clients ask me all the time, how do you stay so bubbly and happy all the time? No matter what is going on, you always have a smile on your face. I always reply, God is good. I am blessed every minute of every day. As long as I keep God first in my life, He will take care of everything else. I treat people the way I would want to be treated, but I know I cannot always please everyone. If I am being as Christ-like as possible, then oh well, don't be mad at me. I can't always make my clients happy or keep my husband from frowning at me, and will definitely not always be my baby girl's idol, but I can do my best. Then the rest is up to them to accept me as I am. Some people ask, how do you know it is God that is guiding you and not that you are making the decisions yourself? Fair question. So I reply, if you are doing what is fair, right, just, and pleasing to God, then you will know you are walking as Christ-like as possible. The voice you hear telling you to do right is not your conscience. It is the Holy Spirit. So act on it. I could have been dead a long time ago, but by God's grace, excuse me, God's love, this should be one more, they come in threes, and God's blessings, I am here enjoying life. I know that there is nothing that can happen that God will not see me through. I was enjoying my family, my brokerage, and my life in California when my path took a turn that I did not expect, but I knew God would see me through. Kendall called me and said, what do you think about Texas? That is the end of chapter 20. Pictures. There's the third one. I told you they come three. There's pictures of me at the end of chapter 20. Sorry. That was more than three. I didn't give in to the demons of despair. That's me with my splotches of hair when my hair first started falling out, and then after I saw that glimmer of the scissors shining, it gave me the idea, that was the Lord giving me the idea to shave that stuff. And that's me. Underneath that cute wig is a bald head. Even though that's at my hairline, that's my normal big forehead sticking out. But I love that wig. And then that's when we went to the Bahamas. It was a ball. We had a great time. Okay, that's it for chapter 20.